What's up, guys? Welcome back to Analytical Strategy. Today we're going to be doing another brand steel survivor simulation, and this one is one that I'm very excited about. So previously myself and another YouTuber called Snuffed did an all-time underrated draft where he picked a person and I picked a person, and then they were based off who did not make Russell Hance's top 100 survivor players of all time. So all the top 100 players were ineligible, and we had to pick from everyone else who had played the game that did not feature within that list. So we did a draft. It was on my channel previously, so if you have not checked it out, I recommend going to check it out. If you haven't seen Snuff's channel, again, I recommend going and seeing his channel, as it's got a lot of great content within there. But just to quickly go through the tribe, Snuffed ended up with Amy Cusack, Candice Cody, Sydney Gillen, Jamal Shipman, Jay Starrett, Josh Canfield, Lauren Beck, Mike White, Sean Rector, and Twyla Tanner. And I ended up with Chase Rice, Chrissy Hoffbeck, Davey Reichenbacher, Ian Rosenberger, Sugar Kuiper, Michael Yerger, Rafe Judkins, Taj George, Tasha Fox, and Victoria Bamonde. So it was a super fun draft. It was a lot of back and forth and a lot of picks being stolen from each other. So I think it's about time that I jumped on this brand steel survivor simulator and see who is the true most underrated player in the history of Survivor. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to be using the David versus Goliath template for this one. So it starts off before the challenge. My tribe will select 2 members from each tribe who'll compete for the challenge based on first impressions. So this is the one where it was Christian and Lydia, I believe it was, for the David tribe. So I guess I was fitting in that Goliath tribe, so I get to select the 2 members, and then Snuff's tribe is the one that gets to select which components of the challenge they're going to do. So Mike and Candice are competing for Snuffed, and Ian and Sugar are competing for my tribe at Analytical Strategy. So Snuffed ends up winning this first reward. So they win some pre-cut lumber and some additional supplies to help set up their camp. So not the best start for my tribe and a great start for Snuffed. Moving on to the status, there are no alliances at this stage in the game in either tribe, and we get to the immunity challenge, which is Matchbox 25. So each tribe will have to sprint through an obstacle to a sandpit, where one person from each tribe must dig under a log. The first person from the first tribe to get through to the log and then grab a machete, chop the rope to release a set of ladders. Person from the second tribe will have to untie knots and then a pole vault onto another platform. Once everyone's across the pole vault, there is a number puzzle, and the first tribe to finish their puzzle wins, and Analytical Strategy wins the first immunity. There we go. To also win Flint and Snuffed, your tribe is heading to the very first tribal council, so I take the early lead in this underrated season. So here we go. So Amy and Lauren have bonded, Jamal's had a meltdown, and Mike and Twyla are bonding. I love this Mike and Twyla bond strongly. That's actually fantastic. I'd love to see Mike White and Twyla. I can actually see that working out. I can also see Amy and Lauren bonding. Can't really see Jamal having a major meltdown this early. There's no real reason for that to occur from at least what we've seen, but it does not spell good for Jamal in this very first episode. He's not someone I would expect to be going home first if this season did play out in real life. But if you're having a meltdown on the first day before the first tribal council, then it's probably not looking good for Jamal here. So we'll have to keep an eye on Mike and Twyla and Amy and Lauren as the season goes on. Okay, so we got Chase and Sugar bonding strongly, Davey and Sugar bonding strongly, and Chrissy and Tasha are having a fight. I don't want my tribe fighting this early in the game. So Sugar actually starting strong, getting a bond with 2 males within my tribe. So we saw within her reappearance after Gabon, where I actually think she played a very good game, except for her final tribal council, where she obviously crashed and burned. But up until that point, I think she was probably the standout of that season. Alternatively, in Heroes vs. Villains, I think she played very poorly, obviously, as she was, I believe, the first one sent home. So for her to come back this third time around, get 2 bonds right out of the gate, it is great to see. And we'll have to, again, keep an eye out for these relationships. So Chase and Sugar, Davey and Sugar, wonder if they can form a power 3 moving forward in the game. And we'll have to see if there's friction between Chrissy and Tasha as the season goes on as well. So moving to this first tribal council at Snuffed, as I mentioned previously, if Jamal's having a major breakdown, it's not looking good for him, but we will see if that happens within the vote. So first vote is Amy. Second vote's Amy. Then Sean, Amy, Sean, Amy, and the first person voted out is Amy. Wow, that is a shocker. I am a huge Amy Cusack fan. I am a huge fan. If someone's having a meltdown on day one and Amy's one of the ones that are actually forming bonds with other members of the tribe, I think it was Amy and Lauren. Ah, man, you just don't expect that to happen this early on. So I wonder if Twyla and Mike were on the right side of the numbers here. So Amy voted for Sean. Candace voted for Amy. Sydney voted for Amy. Jamal voted for Sean. Okay, so Josh, Amy, Lauren. Okay, it should be at the bottom here. So Candace, Sydney, Josh, Mike, Sean, and Twyla. So Twyla and Mike were in the majority, with Amy and Lauren in that minority with Jamal and Jay. So maybe they thought Jamal could have an idol within that minority of 4, and that's why the votes went to Amy instead. But this is a huge loss this early in the season. Again, huge Amy Cusack fan. Hate to see her gone this early. Love to see her gone this early because she's not on my tribe. But as a player, I absolutely love Amy. She was super high on my board when we did this draft, and Snuff took her right off. So disappointing to see her go this early, and yeah, it's really disappointing to see. So let's move into episode 2, where Snuffed is now down a member, and my tribe is holding strong at 10 at this point in time. So nothing to report from Snuff's camp or my camp. No idols have been found yet. So we get to the immunity challenge, another brick in the wall. One member from each tribe will climb a ladder using 2 rungs to retrieve a key. They will then use this key to unlock their boat. 5 members of each tribe must then paddle out to retrieve bags of puzzle pieces. They'll return to shore where 5 castaways will balance a table and complete a block puzzle. First tribe to finish their puzzle wins, so my tribe has won the second immunity challenge. Let's go! We're up 2-0 Snuffed. Let's see how it goes as this season plays out. But we've won immunity, we've also won a fishing kit at this tribal. So back to Snuffed, and Twyla is impressing the rest of the team. Now this is unexpected. Twyla is not someone who impresses in the early stages of Vanuatu. She gets on a lot of people's nerves. She has that little bit of fiery personality, so great to see her changing up her game and impressing a lot of the team. So Twyla, Jay, and Jamal have actually formed a bond of 3. And Lauren and Mike have bonded, and Jay and Jamal have bonded. So Jamal, Jay, Twyla. We also saw that Mike and Twyla bonded previously as well. And we saw Lauren was bonding with Amy. So with Amy gone, Lauren's jump shipped over to Mike. If Mike can rekindle his relationship with Twyla, then maybe Mike, Lauren, Twyla, Jay, and Jamal could have a strong 5 there. So that'll be interesting to see. Okay, so Michael in my tribe has found the hidden immunity idol. So Michael Yerga is a really good player at finding hidden immunity idols and also using them in alternate ways to his advantage, much like he did with James's idol in Ghost Island. So no surprises there that Michael has come out of the gates hot and found an idol. So we have Davey and Rafe having a disagreement, Chrissy and Davey finding something in common, and Davey and Sugar finding something in common. So we have our first alliance of 5 people on my tribe with Chase, Davey, Ian, Sugar, and Rafe. So Davey and Rafe have had a disagreement within this alliance, so it might be minor just about potentially who they want to vote out, but it hopefully won't have a lasting impact as they are currently in an alliance of 5 at the moment. Chrissy and Davey have something in common, so maybe if Chrissy joins this alliance, it will be an alliance of 6 and the other 4 might be on the outs. So it looks like Sugar has having a really good start in my tribe this season. So Snuffed goes to Tribal Council. No one has any idols. This will be a tricky one to see who goes home. So Sean obviously got a few votes in the first one. We haven't seen a lot from Candace or Josh yet, or Sydney. We have seen an alliance form with quite a few of the other members. So we'll see how these votes go. So Sean, Lauren, Lauren Beck has been voted out as well. Wow. So Lauren and Jamal, it wasn't Jamal. So Jamal is still in the game, but Lauren has been targeted as well as Amy. So 2 females have been voted out of Snuff's tribe. You hate to see it. So I wonder if there's been a little bit of threatening with Lauren and Jamal playing in the same season potentially. So there's been, Jamal's had a breakdown. He's obviously recovered and he's going strong. I'd be curious to see who voted for who here. So Lauren got votes from Candace. Jamal actually voted for Lauren. Jay, Josh, Sean, and Twyla. So Mike was on the minority with Lauren and Sydney. That is weird. So Mike was with Twyla in the first vote. They seem to be forming a bond. It doesn't look like that's lasted over to the second tribal council. But I think that alliance had Twyla. Oh, I can't even remember who was in that alliance. But nonetheless, Lauren is the second person voted out of this all-time underrated season. So 2 members down for Snuffed early on. So with Lauren and Amy gone from the Snuff tribe, he is down to 8, and I am still with 10 players left in my tribe at this point in time. Move on to Snuff's tribe. So Mike White has found the idol. He hasn't learned from the first time he's played. He's gone off and looked for idols early again, but this time he is successful and found that idol. So Mike has the idol for Snuffed. The other Mike, Michael Yerga, has the idol for my tribe. I actually really like that. I think it is they're both two great players and 2 people who can do some damage with the idols moving forward. Snuff's alliance has Jamal, Jay, and Twyla. So Jamal, Jay, Twyla. I've got to remember that for future tribals as I forgot it in the last one. Move on to my tribe. As mentioned, Michael has that idol, and that alliance of 5 of Chase, Davey, Ian, Sugar, and Rafe is staying strong. So got to remember these alliances. It is a lot of information to take into account. Get to the immunity challenge. Oh my god, I've won 3 in a row. So 1 member of each tribe will have to untangle a rope, then 3 members will work together to untangle 3 ropes. Following this, 2 members of each tribe will attempt to use the ropes to lasso and pull on a platform. 2 members will build a 4-piece pyramid puzzle. So I think this is the one where Napalm Natalie jumped in instead of Angelina and just couldn't get it done, and Angelina just saw it straight away on the sidelines. So the Goliath tribe lost this one. But the Goliath tribe this season in analytical strategy has won again. He's on a roll. He's done 3 in a row. Sorry, Snuff, we're absolutely smashing you at the moment, mate. We're down 10. You're going to be down to 7 very, very shortly. So Michael's got that idol. Candice and Sean have a major fight with the last thing. Oh, and he's had a major fight with Jay as well. Twyla has left the alliance already. So Jay and Jamal look like they're still together. Twyla's left the alliance, but Sean Rector has had a fight with both Candice Cody and Jay Starrett. So if you're having a fight with 2 people just before Tribal Council, that can't be good news. So I think he may be in the firing line for the 3rd straight Tribal Council. But there's no major alliances to really report on within this tribal upcoming. So it looks like Jamal and Jay together. Twyla's left the alliance. Maybe she's gone back to join Mike White. But yeah, this can't spell good news for Sean. Moving back over to my tribe, Michael has had a meltdown. Oh, Michael. We can't have anyone having meltdowns in my tribe. We are one cohesive unit. We are a block of 10 and we will go to the final 10. No, I highly doubt that's going to happen, but Michael has that hidden immunity idol, but he's having meltdowns at the same time, which is never good. Rafe and Taj, I love this alliance. Rafe and Taj bond strongly, and Ian and Tasha bond strongly, so I love that. So there's no report of that alliance of 5. I presume that's still going together. But Rafe and Taj, this is a fantastic alliance. I love Taj George and I love Rafe Judkins. I think they're 2 fantastic social players in the game, and I think they could cause some serious damage together. Similarly to Ian and Tasha, who both have great social but also physical aspects. So if they get to the merge together, they could be really strong physically as well as socially. But in particular, I'm really liking this pair between Rafe and Taj. So we're getting to Snuff's 3rd tribal council. So Mike has that idol. Again, I'm really worried for Sean Rector in this tribal. Mike gets the first vote. Sean, Mike, Sean. Yes. So Sean Rector is the 3rd person voted out of the game and also of Snuff's tribe. So the count was 6-2. Sean Rector has gotten in a couple of arguments just before tribal council, and in result has resulted in him being the 3rd person voted out of this underrated season. So, who voted with Sean? It was Josh Canfield. So, if Snuff's Tribes loses again, it might spell a bit of trouble for Josh with Candice, Sydney, Jamal, Jay, Mike, and Twyla all voting together. So Twyla left that alliance of Jamal and Jay, but she is still voted with them within this particular vote. So those arguments Sean couldn't overcome, and he's the 3rd person voted out of this season. Okay, we're moving on to episode 4. Snuffed is down to 7 members, and I still am holding strong with 10. So let's move on to Snuff's tribe, where Mike has still got that idol, and that alliance is grown in strength between Jamal and Jay. this is a really fantastic alliance as well. It's quite a new school alliance, both being in predominantly new seasons. Jamal has seemingly recovered extremely well from that episode 1 meltdown, so that spells extremely good news from Jamal moving forward. He's formed a really tight bond with Jay Starrett, so these two would be fantastic together as well, I believe. Again, I'm a big fan of all 20 of the players that we selected within this particular season, so I can kind of see these bonds working in a lot of areas, but I think a strong bond between Jay and Jamal could work out quite well. Then moving on to my tribe, so Michael's still got that idol. He hasn't had any further meltdowns from what we've seen, in that alliance of 5 between Chase, Davey, Ian, Sugar, and Rafe is still holding strong there. So much lower loyalty counter in comparison to Jamal and Jay, but you would get that with more people within an alliance as well. So let's get to this immunity challenge where Snuffed has won immunity. Title is unknown. We don't even know what's going on in this immunity challenge. But Snuffed, congratulations, you have won your very first immunity challenge. Not going down to 6 members this early, and I will be losing my very first member within episode 4 of the underrated season. So get to Snuff's tribe. He's still got that idol, Mike White, and no further events have occurred. Okay, so Chase and Victoria is starting to bond. Davey and Tasha find something in common. I think this would be a fantastic pair alliance as well. And it looks like a secondary alliance is formed. So Davey, Ian, Sugar, and Tasha. So Sugar is in all these alliances. I think Davey and Ian were in that alliance as well. So with Chase bonding with Victoria, Michael could actually be in a bit of trouble here, but he does have the idol. So it'd be interesting to see if votes do go his way, and if they do, if he will play that idol. Okay, so he has the idol. We haven't seen much of... We've seen, I think, everyone except for maybe Chrissy? Can't remember who's in that alliance of 5. But anyway, Michael's got that idol. He doesn't play it. First vote is Michael. Victoria, Michael. Oh my god. So Michael has been voted out and he has not used his idol, which is very unlike Michael. If he thinks he's in the firing line, he got every single vote. He got every single vote. Every person voted for Michael, so that meltdown, unlike Jamal's meltdown where he was able to overcome it, Michael could not. He had every person against him, and every single person was able to also work him well enough that he did not play his idol in the process. So Michael is gone from my tribe, the idol is gone from my tribe, and it's about to get replanted. So if there is a switch up, maybe 2 people in Snuffed Alliance might actually have an idol in their possession, but I think this spells good news for my tribe moving forward if there are tribe swaps. With all 9 people voting for the one person, hopefully that means there's a lot of unity within my tribe, and Snuff's tribe won't be able to squeeze into any gaps moving forward in the game. So we now get to episode 5, and it is 7-9, so I've got a 2-man advantage. So we move on to the twist, which there are randomly assigned. One castaway is going to go to exile, and that is Tasha Fox. So Tasha has found an idol nullifier this season, so she is the new Carl. She's going to bing someone out of the game later in the season, hopefully. Hopefully they're not from my initial selections, but Tasha is holding on to that nullifier, which means within the 3 tribes of 5, there will be 8 analytical strategy members and 7 Snuffed members. Okay, so Snuffed has the advantage within the Vuku tribe. So Candace, Sydney, and Jamal with Chrissy and Sugar on the out. So Sugar was obviously having a huge game within my tribe, and she's in a minority at the moment, so that could spell trouble with a 4-to-1 female to male ratio. So the only thing I could potentially hope for is an all women's alliance there, get Jamal out of the game, but we'll have to wait and see. I think Chrissy's able to work her magic in these situations quite well, but I'm not sure of the relationships between Sydney, Candace, and Jamal in the previous vote, so hopefully they won't stay together. Hopefully Sugar and Chrissy can sneak in there. Okay, which means I have the majority on the next 2 tribes, I believe, with Davey, Taj, and Victoria versus Mike and Jay. So Mike does have that idol on the Jabeni tribe. And on the Tiva tribe, I've got Chase, Ian, and Rafe, and then Josh and Twyla on the outs for a Snuffed on that one. So getting the majority in 2 out of 3 is good. Also, Tasha getting that idol nullifier hopefully will be good for me in the future. Hopefully she can nullify Mike White, and then we can move forward in this game as a core unit. But Vuku, Jabeni, Tiva are the new 3 tribe names, with Snuffed having the majority in Vuku and Analytical Strategy having the majority in the other 2. get to the status. Okay, so this original alliance of 5 has been culled. This alliance of 2 has been culled, and this alliance of 4 has been culled. So there's no alliances within this tribe by the looks of things. It doesn't look like anyone who is working with anyone has joined this tribe, so this could be a free-for-all battle on who can get the numbers or whether original tribe divisions will prosper. Within the Tiva Tribe, Mike has the idol, and again, it doesn't look like there's any previous allegiances within this tribe, so again, could be a free-for-all. Fingers crossed the analytical strategy members will stick together. Moving on to the Tiva Tribe. Okay, so Chase, Ian, and Rafe were all working together previously, which is excellent news for my majority of the 3-2 majority on this tribe. So Chase, Ian, and Rafe all working together previously. Hopefully they can all work together on this tribe as well in that 3-2 split. Get to the immunity challenge. Blind Barrow. One member from each tribe will act as a caller. Caller will sit on the barrow, directing 2 blindfolded members to push them through a series of obstacles, speed bumps, maze, and a balance beam. At the end of the beam, the caller will retrieve a ball and direct the other 2 blindfolded members to navigate the ball through a table maze and into a slot. So then they will win the challenge if they get that ball into the slot first. So Tiva and Vuku have won, which means the Tiva Tribe is continuing the theme of being the worst tribe of the 3, much like it was in David versus Goliath, and they are losing this first immunity challenge and going to the first tribal cancel after the tribe swap. So Vuku, nothing to report. Tiva, Mike does have that idol, and Jay and Taj are having a fight. So it's Snuffed versus Analytical Strategy. They're butting heads already within this Tiva tribe. Funnily enough, Mike White is familiar with this Tiva tribe. He lived, longed, and prospered in this Tiva tribe within the original David versus Goliath season. Will that be the case this season, or will my tribe members try and take him down? Okay. So within the Tiva tribe, Chase and Rafe are still bonding. So there is that alliance of 5. Sugar leaves the alliance, obviously, as she's not in that tribe, I don't think. So it's Chase, Ian, and Rafe. Maybe Sugar's planning on leaving that alliance in the future, and she is making some moves within her Vuku tribe because she is on the outs in that tribe. So maybe she's cut some deals with some members of that tribe, left her previous alliance, and is trying to make new deals after this tribe swap. Tivani's going to Tribal Council, so Mike has the Hidden Immunity Idol. As mentioned, it's a 3-2 split with Davey, Taj, Victoria versus Mike and Jay. I think it was Taj and Jay were having some conflict, so if Mike plays the idol, maybe Taj might be in a little bit of trouble. So Mike has used his Hidden Immunity Idol, so no one has any more idols with Michael Yerger getting voted out with it, and Mike White now playing it. Let's see if he made the right decision. First vote was Mike. Second vote was Mike. Third vote was Mike. Fourth vote, Jay. And fifth vote was Jay. Wow. That is surprising. So, maybe Mike and Jay tried to throw each other under the bus. They didn't have any other choices. All my tribe members might have stayed strong, but it doesn't look like that's the case. So, Mike and Taj were voting together. So, Taj from my alliance joined forces with Mike White and took Jay out of this game. So if that is the case, it's now a 2-2 split with Victoria and Davey, original members of my tribe, with Taj and Mike within one member of my tribe with one member of Snuff. So that's actually crazy. So Taj has jumped ship. She joined forces with Mike. Jay actually joined forces with Victoria and Davey. So they both butted heads, the 2 members of Snuff's tribe. So it's another Snuffed member taken out early. So I think that means it is 6 Snuffed members to 9 of my members, I believe that's the case. So Tash has now joined this tribe. So this one has 2 of mine, this one has 4, and this one has 3. So that is 9. Yep, so 9 to 6. So good start for my tribe, continuing that theme throughout this season so far. But that doesn't mean anything. There's only going to be one sole survivor, and that could be any of these 15 players. So this tribe, Sugar left the alliance, so maybe she's made some connections with other members of this tribe. Within this one, it was a 2v2, so maybe Taj is going to be the person to make that split. So I think it was Taj and Mike. Mike no longer has an idol, so I think there should be 3 idols that have been planted, so 3 idols are going to be up for grabs. And then in the Tiva tribe, there was that original alliance with Chase, Ian, and Rafe, so hopefully those 3 will stay together as well. There we go. So no further information of alliances on the Vuku tribe. Tasha does have that idol nullifier that she got on exile within the newly formed Jabeni tribe, and she's actually reconnecting with Davy here. So it'll be interesting to see if Tasha, Davy, and the person Davy was with will form a tight 3 and proceed further in the game. And then Tiva, there is that 3 still sticking together with Chase, Ian, and Rafe by the looks of things. So there is a reward challenge this episode, ballistic missiles. So 2 members of each tribe must use poles to knock out sandbags from a net. Once they have all their sandbags, they must untie a slingshot and shoot those sandbags from the slingshot into 2 baskets. Raise a flag. First 2 tribes to raise flags wins, with Tiva and Jabeni getting rewards. So Tiva gets 3 hens and a rooster, and Jabeni gets a dozen eggs. Now the immunity challenge. Oh, Jabeni has lost again. The theme is holding strong here. So each tribe must climb up and over a hill obstacle. They must pull down a ladder, and using a rope, 4 of the 5 tribe members must hold up a bridge while the last member runs across the bridge, releases a lever, holds that bridge up. The tribe must then run across the bridge and go down via a fireman's pole, must then untie a bag containing a ball. One member must then get on the balance beam and negotiate a maze in the shape of a snake. So the first 2 tribes to get their balls in the hole at the top of the maze wins. So this one, Jabeni has lost again. Mike White, you are the cursed man this season. You are the cursing Jabeni all over again, with Tiva and Vuku winning that immunity challenge in episode 6. So Vuku, nothing to report here. Tasha's got that nullify, and Mike and Victoria have started to bond, which is interesting, as I believe they voted on opposing alliances in the previous vote. And Chase has found the idol within Tiva. So Chase is looking actually pretty strong at the moment. So he's got an idol, he's got a core alliance of 3, he's got a couple of other members in other tribes as well, which could potentially work to his advantage that he was originally lined with on the original analytical strategy tribe. Josh and Rafe are having a disagreement, so I think Josh was on the outs here, so there's not too big of a surprise here with Rafe, Chase, and the other member of the original analytical strategy tribe being a strong 3 out of 5. So no major surprises here. Get to Jabeni. Tasha's got that nullifier. So this will be an interesting one. So Tasha's back. She bonded with Davey. Taj and Mike were voting together, and Victoria started to bond with Mike. So if Tasha and Davey are together, and then Mike and Taj stay together, Victoria could either stick with Davey and Tasha, or she could switch over to Mike and Taj, assuming those numbers stay strong. So really, any of the 5 could be in trouble here. First vote's Taj, Victoria. So another member of my tribe is looking in danger. Taj, Victoria, and Victoria Bamonde has been voted out 3 votes to 2. So I'm interested to see the breakdown here. So Davey, Taj, and Tasha. Why did you not take out Mike? We still could have stayed strong. Could have had a strong 4. Decided that Mike is still in that minority, but he is staying in this game on Jabeni. That's just what he does. He gets to Jabeni, he loses, but he stays alive. Usually in the majority, but this season he's in the minority. But the 3 original members of Analytical Strategy have turned on one of their own in Victoria. You hate to see it. You absolutely hate to see it. But Victoria has been voted out of the game. Mike stays alive one more time. We get to episode 7. It is now a 5 to 4 to 5 tribe split, with Vuku and Tiva having the upper hand here. Nothing to report here. Taj, George, finding idols. Let's go. So Taj has now found the idol. Tash has got the nullifier. This is looking good. So Tasha and Taj did vote together. They also voted with Davey. So those 3 could be super powerful. Man, that's a very fun alliance. It could go deep. Taj, Tasha, Davey. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. That could be a fun one to go deep in the game. Next, Chase does still have that idol and that alliance at 3. No further updates here. Get to the reward challenge. So Tiva and Vuku have 1 reward. Jabeni, you've lost a reward. You're losing immunities. You're really having a tough time over here. So one member of each tribe will be strapped to a bag full of coconuts, which will be carried by the remaining 3 members of the tribe. They then must race out to the beach, where the person strapped will climb over an obstacle to get 4 rings on a balance beam, while the other tribe members will need to hold up the coconut bag in order to create slack. Then must toss the rings onto 4 pegs. First 2 tribes to get all 4 rings onto the pegs win. So Vuku, Tiva, winning again, Jibeni, losing again. Will they lose their 3rd immunity in a row? They will. They absolutely will in this dishwasher challenge. Nick Wilson is not in this season, so he can't lose it for the 3rd time in the row, also losing in Winners at War. But each tribe must carry a large saucer over water to fill it with water. They then must carry it back to a well, release puzzle pieces, and this is the one where Jabeni got absolutely flogged. Oh, it was one of the biggest blowouts ever. Hint, hint, check out my biggest blowout video previously. But Jabeni, you've done it again. And this is smelling very, very bad for Mike White. I hate to say it, Snuffed, but oh, he looks like he could be in trouble unless there's big changes. But you'll be happy to know that Jamal is having one of the biggest turnarounds we've ever seen. He has gone from a massive blow up in episode 1 to creating bonds with Jay to now finding the Vuku tribe hidden immunity idol. Absolutely huge. Sugar, though, is bonding with Chrissy. So I think they already might have had a bit of a bond there, but they've brought in Candace from Snuff's tribe. So yes, my 2 tribe members that were in the minority on this tribe have brought in Candace. Now they have an alliance of 3. Let's go. Let's get these people further in the game. So Sugar is, man, she's actually looking like a very hot commodity at the moment. She has made social bonds with a lot of people in this game, and they've been strong bonds that might have lasting impact. So big up to Sugar, and she's doing very well this season at the moment. Within Jabeni, Taj has the idol, Tasha has the nullifier, but Mike, you are kidding me. Mike is just out of the blue started impressing everyone, even though he's on the bottom. God, why is this happening? Mike, you gotta go, bro. You gotta go. Ian's left the alliance again. He's not really on this tribe. But so Ian's probably still tight with Chase and Rafe. Maybe they've formed a tight of 3. I think Sugar's might still be in this alliance, not sure, but Tasha and Davey are still going strong. So, oh, this has to be, even though you're impressing, you've got to go, right, Mike? Ian's also impressing on this tribe within Tiva, and I think him, Chase, and Rafe are still holding the fort. We get to tribal. Tash has got the idol nullifier. Taj has the idol. It's time to vote. It's got to be a 3-1, even though he's impressing. No one votes. Mike. Oh my God, Mike has done it. He's actually done it. He's somehow turned it around on Taj. Taj has been voted out with the idol. Second person on my tribe voted out with an idol. And Mike White, oh, he is the Jabeni god. He's got no Rockstar to jam along with in this season, but man, I don't know how he's doing it. I don't know how he's doing it, but he just got another person on my tribe voted out with an idol. Oh, Mikey. So there you go, 3-1 vote. Taj has now been voted out. My dream of Taj, Tasha, and Davey has just been crumbled into a million pieces because Mike just started to impress everyone on the Jabeni tribe, and now he's voted out Taj. Oh, yeah. What are you doing, Mike? I mean, I'm rooting for you if you were on my tribe, but Snuff stole you. I was going to pick you, but I picked Davey instead. Davey's still alive. You could have aligned. You could have joined together. You did join together. You got rid of Taj, but you could have been on my tribe, but Snuffed was too quick. And now you are causing chaos, and I hate to see it. So we get to episode 8, which is merge time. So this is huge. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 original Snuffed members still in the game. And we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 original analytical strategy members. Snuffed, you have closed the gap, my dude. It is getting close. It is getting tight. It is getting down to the wire. Analytical strategy, just reform, rejoin forces, take control of this game. It's not going to happen, but I want it to happen. All right, we get to the merge. The merge has begun. Kalo tribe, where Candice and Sydney and Jamal have been together all game. We've had Chase, Ian, and Rafe together all game. We've had Josh, and Twyla together, and I think Mike's alone, and Davey and Tasha have been together all game other than Exile. So there's been a little bit of mix and matching here. Let's have a look at the status of this tribe. Okay, so Chase has an idol, Jamal has an idol, Tasha has a nullifier. Chase, Davey, Ian. So Davey is back together with Chase, Ian, and Rafe, which is great. We've got Davey with Sugar and Tasha, which is also great, and Sugar has now aligned with Chrissy and Candice. So within all of these alliances, there is only one snuffed member in Candice in any of them. So that's got to be good for me, right? That's got to be good. Just got to get Mike White to stop impressing people, and things will be okay. Okay, let's move on to the immunity challenge where my boy Davey Reichenbacher has won. Let's get it. Let's get around the big dog. Ringleader, castaways must swing along a long pendulum. Swing a long pendulum through a frame around a statue. The statue tips over, lose momentum, fall off their perch, are eliminated from the challenge. So the last person standing wins. My boy Davey's won it, and that is just fantastic news. So we get to the tribe status where Candice has found the vote steal. So this is the one where Davey originally was pretending to frolic near the water with his stick or whatever he was doing, and then Carl and Nick went and found this advantage. So Candice has a steal, Chase has an idol, Jamal has an idol, Tasha has a nullifier. So we have 4 people with advantages in the game. This is huge. Get to Tribal Council. Chase and Josh are having a fight, and Davey is the one impressing now. But Mike has joined an alliance. Mike's made an alliance of 6. Mike, Twyla, Jamal, and Sydney. Okay, so Ian and Rafe are in this. So Chase was also aligned with Ian and Rafe, and Davey was also aligned with Ian and Rafe. So if we have Ian, Rafe, Davey, Chase, Sydney, Jamal, Mike, Twyla, that's 8. So I think that's a clear majority, right? And then if Tasha was with Davey, must be a few people on the outs here. So there was Chrissy with Sugar and Candice. So is there anyone? Sydney, I think, is unaccounted for, and I think Josh might be in probably the most trouble here. My guess is Josh is going to go home at this first merge episode. Okay, let's have a look. So Jamal's actually decided to use the Vuku Tribe Hidden Immunity Idol. So this is a big move by Jamal. So first vote is Jamal, so he has got the right read here. 2, 3, 4, 5 votes to Jamal. 1 vote Josh. Sugar, Josh, Sugar. Sugar has been voted out. Oh, she was a social threat within the first half of the game. She got to the merge. She joined forces with Candice and Chrissy. So that could spell bad news for Chrissy and Candice potentially. We'll see if they did all vote together. Okay, so there was 3 people voted for. So there was maybe a split vote between Jamal and Sugar, and Jamal was forced to play his idol potentially. But Chase, Ian, and Rafe are the ones that voted for Josh. So that's not really surprising, as I think Rafe and Josh were having a disagreement. So Sydney, Jamal, Josh, Mike, and Twyla, and then Candice, Chrissy, and Sugar. Yep, and then Davey and Tasha were together as well. Okay. Okay, so maybe Sugar was actually in the majority here, potentially splitting the vote between Jamal and Josh. However, they got the numbers wrong or something along those lines, and Sugar is the one sent packing. So I think that actually evens up the numbers between our original tribes. But Sugar was a social weapon in the start of this game. She got found out. She got found out that she had a lot of alliance members, and now she is on the chopping block and has been chopped. So she's out of the game. Massive. So down to the final 12. Which I believe is a 6 versus 6 split. Let's proceed. Oh my god, Mike. I just got this funny feeling Mike's just going to win. I got a strange feeling Mike White's going to win. He's escaped minority a lot. He's got an idol. I think he had an idol previously that he used. He's playing well. Candice, Chase, and Tasha also have advantages. So Candice and Chrissy are still together with Sugar out. Davey and Tasha are together. And then those 4 lads are still together with Chase, Davey, Ian, and Rafe. And then there's this big alliance of 6 with Sydney, Ian, Jamal, Mike, Rafe, and Twyla. So Sugar might have, because she left that initial alliance with the guys of Ian, Rafe, Davey and Chase, maybe that put her on the outs. Maybe they held a bit of a grudge there and also assisted in getting her out. But there is a strong alliance of 6 with a few sub-alliances. So within this alliance of 6, this is 4 members of Snuffed. I think it's all turning around, boys. I think we had a good start and we might be in a little bit of trouble here. Okay, so raise the roof. Castaways must hold up heavy sandbags tethered to water-filled troughs above their heads. Every 15 minutes, one person will drop out and then hand their bag over to someone else. So group 2 has one with Chase, Sydney, Jamal, Mike, Tasha, and Twyla. And they've won some pizzas to be eaten at camp. Get to immunity, and Chase Rice has won this immunity challenge. So castaways must balance on a small balance beam whilst holding a buoy with 2 handles. Last person holding their buoy whilst on the balance beam will win. So Chase has won immunity and he is safe at the next tribal council. Okay, let's get back down to business. So Candice has the vote steal. I completely forgot about that. Chase, Mike have idols. Tasha has a nullifier. Davey and Rafe are having a fight, and Mike, of course, is just doing Mike things, bonding with everyone, impressing everyone, making alliances, breaking my balls, just doing just doing everything right. But we hate to see this because these two were aligned for the whole game. Oh no. Snuffed, I think you're about to take control, mate. I think you're about to take control. Tasha's got the idol. I still think Josh could be on the outs here. I still think it could be Josh. But we'll see, we'll see. Okay, no one has played an idol. So first vote is Josh. Tasha. Josh, Tasha, Josh, and Josh is voted out. Okay. So it looks like Sugar may have been in that majority, but due to Jamal playing the idol, she was the one sent home. Josh is now sent home. My numbers are back in the majority. We still have a chance. We still can take down Mike White. There is the chance of him still getting to the end and winning. But Josh the Tribe has spoken. He's been voted out. Let's have a look at this vote split. Okay. So Candice and Chrissy and Josh are still together. Okay, so Candice and Chrissy and Sugar were probably on the outs then. So my previous thought of Sugar breaking the alliance with Chase, Rafe, and Ian probably ended up costing her. And when she aligned with Chrissy and Candice, that put her in a minority. Josh has seemingly been on the outs for a little bit this season. And he has been voted out of the game. So it looks like it could be bad news for Candice and Chrissy moving forward. So we are down to the final 11 here in the Goliath Tribe. All right, let's proceed. Okay, so the advantages are still in play and the alliances are still in play. I think there haven't been any changes there. So it looks like these two are probably on the outs here. Look at this loyalty between Davey and Tasha. So even though Taj George was voted out, these two could still be a really strong force moving forward in the game. They have the highest loyalty counter out of anyone here. There's another reward, all mixed up, divided into 2 teams of 5. Castaways need to maneuver through an obstacle where they must grab a bag hanging from an A-frame. Teams will then go under a cargo net where they will use numbered tiles to figure out a number combination lock, releasing a key, unlock a snake-shaped puzzle, and then first tribe or team to finish that puzzle wins. So Davey did not participate and couldn't win, and the group of Chrissy, Sydney, Ian, Rafe, and Twyla have won, and they've won a trip to a burger bar with beer and soft drinks. Now let's get to immunity where Rafe has won. So we have had Davey, Chase, and Rafe, the 3-man alliance. They've all won immunity. They all thought, we may as well give another person a go to win. And they've all shared it around. So roll away the dew. Castaways race out to release a set of 3 balls. Must then carry the balls one at a time over a series of obstacles whilst balancing it on a disc. Once they've crossed through the obstacles, they'll need to navigate the balls on a track to get them into one of 3 slots. First person to get all 3 balls into their slots wins. So Rafe has won, and he's safe in this episode 10 of the most underrated player season. Okay, advantages are all still in play. Ian and Rafe find something in common, which I would hope they had already done so, considering they've been working together all season. Jamal and Rafe have had a fight, which has had an impact. Okay, so I wonder if this impact will deter votes from Candice and Chrissy. I wonder. And then Mike is back with Twyla. Mike and Twyla, so they were together originally, and then I think they split up, and now they're back together later in the season. So those initial bonds that they created have come back, and they're back. Oh, and this one's actually dissolved. This alliance looks like it's dissolved. So Candace and Chrissy, they probably knew they were on the outs. They probably knew it was one of the two of them that were likely to go home, and they probably had to split and try and throw the other one under the bus. However, Jamal and Rafe having a fight may change that from happening. So I wonder if Candace will use her stealer vote here if she thinks she's in any danger. I know if I was in that position, I would have wanted to use my advantage, even though if I thought I was going home, I'd just have to use it without walking out with it. So let's see. Candace does use that stealer vote, and she has used it on Jamal. So Candace might have joined forces with Rafe, potentially, if they did have a lasting impact fight. First vote is Jamal. Tasha. Okay, so it looks like Candace and Chrissy have both escaped this vote. Oh, hang on, Candace. Candace, Tasha, Jamal. Candace, Tasha, Jamal. Tasha, Jamal. 4 to 4 to 3. Wow. So 3 people got votes, and it ended up being a tie between Jamal and Tasha. So Candace must have stole Jamal's vote, which may have been the decider. So it's between Tasha and Jamal for this one. Tasha, Jamal, Jamal, Tasha, Jamal, 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 Tasha, Tasha, and Jamal has been voted out 6 to 4. Wow. I honestly did not see that one coming. I thought that group that all voted together would have stayed strong, and I thought Chrissy and Candace were likely to get picked off, but Jamal the Tribe has spoken. You did have a phenomenal turnaround. I thought you were done in episode 1, and you've made it quite deep into the merge, so very well done there. So let's have a look. The initial vote. So Chase, Ian, and Rafe are always voting together, and they voted for Candace there. So they still voted together on the revote and ended up voting for Jamal. So Candace and Candace, so therefore Candace took Jamal's vote and used it on himself with Davey and Tasha. So Davey and Tasha are still strong, and they might have pulled Candace in there. And then Chrissy, Sydney, Mike, and Twyla are together there. And Chrissy and Candace have split, and they voted for Tasha. Okay, and then on the revote, so it was Candace, Chase, Davey, Ian, and Rafe. So maybe that strong 4 with Chase, Davey, Ian, and Rafe could be strong here. And then because Tasha couldn't vote, I think she's probably going to be in with that core 4 as well. But yeah, this episode's thrown me for a little bit of a loop. So I might have to get my bearings as these tribe statuses unravel. But we're down to the final 10 in episode 11, part 1. Okay, so we still have 2 idols in the game with Chase and Mike, and then Tasha has an idol nullifier. Okay, so nothing really new in the alliance front. These 4 are still strong. These 2 are really tight. So Tasha might jump in with these 4 as mentioned and form a nice 5. So yeah, unsure how the votes played out in the previous tribal council. Maybe Candace using that vote steal might have switched up the votes a bit, but it looks like now that she has been removed, there is this still strong 5 with Jamal leaving, which it was previously a 6, and Mike and Twyla are a tight 2 within that 5. So we get to the reward challenge, and divided into two teams of 5, castaways will race out to a rope bridge. Once everyone gets over the bridge, they will need to toss a set of poles onto a rung. First team to get all 3 of their poles onto the rung wins. So the winner was Davey, Mike, Rafe, Tasha, Twyla, and they win a picnic with wraps, wine, and letters from home. Twyla Tanner has won immunity, though uncomfortably numb. Wow, so Twyla took over Christian's role here. She was the one talking to Jeff, telling him a bunch of stories, asking him a bunch of questions about macarons and whatever else Christian was waffling on about. But Twyla has won immunity. She's broken the male streak. She's come in clutch, and she's got it done. Okay, so again, Tasha's had a meltdown. Oh no, Candace has had a meltdown as well. 2 meltdowns. Mike and Tasha are having a fight. So Mike, I wonder if the votes will go towards Mike potentially. Oh no, maybe she's had a meltdown from having a fight with Mike, and Candace has a meltdown. Oh, this just throws everything up in the air. Could be anyone going home at this tribal. Sydney's been super quiet. She's been really under the radar, which I do expect from her, but I do expect some big moves from her as well. But This could be anyone, with 2 people melting down and a fight occurring. So, this could be, if Tasha and Mike have had a fight. Oh, okay. Do the votes get put on Mike and Tasha uses the nullifier? That would be huge. That would be huge for the program. All right, let's have a look. Okay, no one's played an idol. Tasha's received a vote. Candice, Tasha, Candice, Candice, and Tasha has been voted out of the game 6-4. Okay, so Candice has survived again, and I believe Chrissy survived as well. So that's very interesting. Let's have a look at this breakdown, because this could be trouble for, yes, as I expected, it's trouble for Chase, Davey, and Ian here. So I thought they were, oh, Rafe. Rafe didn't vote with them. Rafe voted for Tasha. Maybe he thought Davey and Tasha were getting a little bit too close or something. That's actually interesting, because I think Rafe, Chase, and Ian have voted together every single tribal. So to see them change that up is a little bit shocking. And obviously Mike and Twyla are still together, and I think they're still in that alliance with Sydney and Twyla, Mike, Sydney. There was a couple of other people in there as well. Okay, so we're down to the final 9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members of Analytical Strategy and 4 members of Snuffed. This is getting down to the wire. Who do you think will win? Oh man, again, I still have a funny feeling it's going to be Mike, but you just never know in this game. Okay, so let's proceed to the tribe status. So there is the 2 hidden immunity idols. Actually, huge news. Tasha voted out with the nullifier. So that's another advantage that wasn't used this season. So I've seen a couple of people in Michael Yerger, and someone else was voted out with an idol as well. And now Tasha has been voted out with the nullifier. So yeah, quite a few advantages not being used here. Okay, so it was Ian and Rafe within this alliance of Sydney, Mike, and Twyla, as I mentioned previously. So Ian and Rafe are looking good. I mean, they've been on the wrong side of the vote a little bit. Rafe actually voted with the right people. Okay, so Rafe actually voted with this 5, whilst Ian didn't. That's actually quite interesting. So we'll see if that's the case, because Chase, Davey, and Ian, I think, were on the outs of the previous vote there. Okay, Candice didn't participate in a reward called Beastie Boys, divided it into 2 teams of 4. Castaways swim out to a platform, climb a ladder, and dive. Once everyone's in the water, they need to release 2 lines of buoys. They must then find 5 marked buoys, which they will get into 1 of 5 nets. First team to get all their buoys wins, and Chrissy, Sydney, Ian, and Twyla have won a cruise and a feast. So Chrissy's won immunity, where they have to spell out the word perspective, not perception, I believe Carl spelt, and unfortunately lost. But Chrissy is a gun at these types of challenges, so no surprises she's won a word puzzle. She's extremely good at these types of challenges, so can absolutely see her winning an immunity challenge like this. So 2 idols. Okay, Rafe and Twyla have started to form a bond. Twyla's actually been pretty good this season as well. So Rafe's impressing the rest of the team, and Chrissy and Mike have started to find a bond as well. Davey's left that alliance. So Davey's actually raging that Tasha was gone, because yeah, they were super tight. They had the strongest alliance out of anyone in the game. So if they did decide to vote Tasha out because of that duo being too powerful, it hasn't sat well with Davey, and he's left. So Davey's lost Taj, he's lost Tasha, and now he might be by himself. But there is a new alliance with Chase, Davey, and Chrissy. So he still is strong with Chase. So he's got no hard feelings towards Chase, as I believe Rafe was the one that voted for Tasha, and I think Ian and Chase still voted for Candice at the previous tribal council. So within this tribal council, there's still a couple of immunity idols in play, and Chrissy's got the necklace. Okay, so no one plays an idol. Candice is getting votes again. Chase, Twyla. Why are 3 people getting votes at every tribal? It's really bizarre. So Twyla's gotten 2. Chase, Candice, Chase. Okay, Candice has finally been voted out of the game in a 4-3-2 split. So maybe they are splitting votes because they are actually splitting votes to avoid idol plays. That's actually pretty impressive for a simulation if that is the case. Okay, so Chrissy and Davey voted for Twyla, whilst Candace, Mike, and Twyla voted for Chase, and Chase, Sydney, Ian, and Rafe. So Chase, Ian, and Rafe are now back in power, baby. So I think these guys must have joined with these guys to get Candace out of the game. But Mike, Twyla, so it was Mike, Twyla, Rafe, Sydney, and Davey. So they all voted for different people. So that alliance, yeah, they all voted for different people somehow. So quite confusing to follow, if I must say. So we're getting down to episode 12, we're getting down to the nitty gritty, and there is the final 8. So within the original analytical strategy tribe, we have Chase Rice, we have Chrissy Hofbeck, we have Davey Reichenbacher, we have Ian Rosenberg, and we have Rafe Judkins, 5. Within Snuffed, we have Sydney Gillen, his first pick. My first pick in Rafe is also still alive. That's actually sick. We both picked extremely well if that is the case. So he's got Sydney, he's got Twyla, and he has Mike White, that sneaky devil, stayed alive all this time. But that's actually super cool that we both have our first picks in Sydney and Rafe. That would be awesome if one of them won, actually. It would that would actually really make me happy either way, because Sydney would have been my first female pick. With Snuff taking Sydney first in the overall draft, so I couldn't have selected her. I would have taken Rafe anyway, as I believe the female contestants were stronger. But that's actually super exciting to see both of them still in play. Okay, so Chase has that idol and Mike has that idol. And the alliances, no major changes at this point in time. Get down to reward again, tethered to another castaway, so in pairs of 2. Race through water and crawl under an obstacle. On shore, each pair must dig a rings to release a pair of balls. First pair to get on a narrow perch wins. So the winners were Davey and Chrissy, and they've shared, Group 4 wins reward, Mike and Twyla, and they looks like they've shared it with Davey and Chrissy. So they've pulled those 2 people to join reward with them. So Mike and Twyla, they actually were able to compete together, and they've had this bond together as well. So this is the Love One reward. So huge move by Mike and Twyla within this particular episode. So Twyla has won a second immunity. That is nuts. So castaways must balance on a narrow perch whilst balancing on a pole in their palm, connected to a bucket of water. Bucket falls or they step off the perch, they're out of the challenge, and the last person standing wins. So Twyla has won her second immunity. She's also becoming a little bit of a dark horse to win this season. I think strategically, I mean, it's hard to say. I think like big move-wise, I think Twyla and Mike are actually doing extremely well. I think Mike has escaped a lot of votes, and I think they both have a very good chance to win if they get to the end. From core strategy perspective, I think the core alliance of Rafe, Chase, and Ian especially, they've held really strong throughout this whole game. So I think there's a lot of variables to unpack when we get to this final episode. So Chase has the idol, Mike's got the idol. Chase and Davey are back together, which is good, and Chase is starting to impress, and Chase and Rafe finally find something in common. Again, all these are pretty redundant. These guys have been working together for the majority of the season. We get to Tribal. I actually have no idea who's going to go. I have no idea who's going to go. So let's try and break this down. Chase, Ian, Rafe, potentially Davey. Mike and Twyla are together. Sydney, Twyla, Rafe, Mike, Davey. I think, at a guess, it's going to be Chrissy. Could be Chrissy. Okay. No one. Sydney, Davey, Sydney, Davey, Davey, Davey. Davey has been voted out of the game. That'll be interesting to see the vote breakdown here, actually. I've lost another member, and Chase, Chrissy, and Davey. So Ian, Rafe. Yep, actually, that makes sense. So I think, yeah, Davey left that alliance with Ian and Rafe. Chase, however, stayed strong with Davey in this vote. So it'll be interesting to see if that, because Ian, Rafe, and Chase have been together all season long, with Mike and Twyla still being strong there as well. So yes, we are down to the final 7 in episode 13. So we have Chase, Chrissy, Sydney, Ian, Mike, Rafe, Twyla. Top picks still left. let's get into it. Okay, so 2 idols still in play. They've had them for quite a while, actually, so it'll be interesting to see if they do get used and if they do get used successfully, but they're both in great positions. Chase and Chrissy have started to align. Okay, that's pretty cool. So it'll be Chase. Chase is actually looking pretty strong as well. He's got a core alliance with Ian and Rafe. He's now joined forces with Chrissy. I mean, Rafe is still in this tight 5, so this tight 5 could take it. Sydney, Ian, Mike, Rafe, and Twyla, but there is no Chase in there. And Chase did not vote with Ian and Rafe at the previous tribal, so this 5 could take it, actually. Okay, let's proceed. Twyla's won reward. She shared it with Mike and Ian, and they have won a helicopter ride to the Mulla Mulla Beach Club. So, attached to a rope, castaways will need to first race through a series of obstacles to untangle their rope. If they feel that they have enough, then they must go through a second set of obstacles to reach some sandbags and knock down some towers of blocks. So first castaway to knock down their block tower wins. So Twyla again has won another individual challenge, so she's absolutely smashing it in the individual portion of this season. And she's won another immunity. Oh my god. This is giving me deja vu at my previous video. I'm not going to give any spoilers if you haven't seen my previous simulation, but it's giving me a little bit of deja vu with a particular member at my Winners Not at War simulation there. So this is pretty intense. So Twilight has won another immunity called Rollerball, where castaways must stand on a small log whilst balancing a ball on a wooden disc. At regular intervals, more balls will be added onto the plate until there are 3 balls, which will increase the difficulty. If any ball falls off the disc or they lose their footing, they will be eliminated. So Twyla has won another individual challenge and another immunity. This is crazy. She's doing extraordinarily well. Very unexpected out of Twyla, but again, I love unexpected and I'd love to see it. Okay. Rafe and Twyla have had a huge fight. They were in that big alliance of 5 together, so maybe that 5 won't stay strong anymore. Okay, so if we get to tribal, that 5 was Twyla, Rafe, Mike, Sydney, and Ian, I believe. So I think Chrissy's probably in trouble here. But if they have had a fight, so Twyla will stick strong with Mike. Rafe will then stick strong with Chase and Ian. Ian actually had Chrissy. So maybe a Twyla or a Sydney could be. It really could be anyone here. Okay. Okay, so Chase has actually used his idol. That's big. Okay, so does not count. Sydney, Chrissy. Yep. So Chrissy has been voted out of the game. So there may have been a split vote here. So Chrissy's vote for Sydney. So that might have been a little bit redundant, and it might have been a split between Chase and Chrissy predominantly. So Chase and Chrissy were actually getting tight. So Rafe did vote for Chrissy. So Rafe is looking like he's voting for people who are getting in tight alliances potentially. So he saw that relationship with Davey and Tasha form and he culled it. He saw that relationship with Chase and now Chrissy, and he's not allowing that to happen. He's culling that as well. But Chase actually voted for Chrissy. So that's out the window. Who knows? Chase has formed an alliance with Chrissy and he's voted her out in the same episode. So who knows exactly what happened there, but Chrissy has been voted out of the game, which brings us to the finale. There's 6 people left in the game. We've got Chase, we've got Ian, we've got Rafe from Analytical Strategy, we've got Sydney, we've got Mike, we've got Twyla from Snuffed. It all comes down to the wire. Who's going to be the most underrated player in the history of Survivor? Will it be Snuff's first pick in Sydney? Will it be my first pick in Rafe? Will it be the madman in Mike? Will it be the immunity beast in Twyla? Will Ian jump off a platform again? Will Chase get to the finale and lose due to unforeseen circumstances of Fabio cleaning up? You just never know, and that's about what we're about to find out in this finale, part 1 of the most underrated Survivor season of all time. Okay, so Mike's got that idol. So Chase has used his idol. Mike's got the only one left in the game. That's actually huge for Mike. So we get down to the alliances. So that alliance of 5 is still there, even though there was a little bit of friction between Rafe and Mike. And Mike and Twyla are still tight, and Chase, Ian, and Rafe is still tight. So I think everyone's got an alliance member at this point in the game. Twyla's won again. Twyla has won again. She's won another immunity, guys. She's actually won another immunity. This is giving me some vibes. It has given me some deja vu. But castaways must race through a series of obstacles and then to toss a ball on a rope and release a set of steps, which they may use to build a staircase, allowing them to get to the top of the tower, and then they must solve a huge 63-piece puzzle, and the first person to win that puzzle wins. So Twyla's won. She's won a spaghetti meal back at camp. She's shared it with Mike and Ian. Mike, again, he's having a very similar season as he was in David versus Goliath Season 1, where he's going on Jabeni, he's losing everything, but he's staying alive. He's getting on this reward. He's having a few wines. He's getting lit. So Mike is having a very similar outing to his first time around. Maybe he'll get to the end and lose to a member of the opposite tribe. Hey, you never know. We'll wait and see. Okay, so we get to the status. So Mike's got that idol, and he's starting to impress some more people. Man, oh man. Twyla's winning immunities. Mike is continuing to impress. This is not looking good for my original core. All right, let's have a look. We're at tribal. Mike's got the idol. Twyla's got the necklace. So who was in that 5? I think Chase was the only person not in that group of 5. So I think he might be in trouble here. Oh, he's used the idol. He's used it on Sydney. Mike's actually used it on someone else. I don't think I've seen that in a simulation I've done previously, that they've actually used the idol on an alternate member in the game. So Mike has saved Sydney. Mike from Snuffed saved Sydney from Snuffed. Will that be enough? Sydney. Chase. Chase is voted out in a 3-3 split. Oh no. Who voted for Sydney? Chase. All my guys voted for Sydney. And all of Snuff's guys voted together. Oh, Snuff's up 3-2. I'm down. Down 3-2. And they're all voting together. They're all voting strong. Mike played his idol for Sydney. Oh no. This is looking grim. This is looking very grim. Snuffed has a 3-2 lead. I think it's the first majority he's had in this entire season. Oh no. And they're all voting together as well. Okay, so it looks like there's a 3-2 split. This was that 5-person alliance that's been together for a lot of the game, actually. So they can't. What are they going to do now? So maybe they've planned this out all along in the likes of Sydney, Mike, and Twyla. They might have planned this all along in terms of getting to this final 5 and then sticking strong with the original Snuffed tribe. That's very fair play, and it's great play. I don't like it because my members are in the minority, but we'll see if that's the case. So Ian, they're still together. The alliance of 5 still together, even though there's only 5 people left, and Mike and Twyla are together. So Ian and Rafe, Mike and Twyla, Sydney isn't in a tight 2, but Mike just used the idol on her, so I think she will go with Mike and Twyla, unless she sees that as a huge move that the jury will respect, and then maybe she'll turn on him. Maybe she'll join my 2. We will wait and see. I would love to see Rafe and Sydney in the final. Oh my god. You've got to be kidding me. Twyla has done it again. Castaways will stand on a perch and use the leaky bucket to fill a chute to obtain a key. Once they have a key, they must swim to the beach, unlock a set of block puzzle pieces, and the first to finish their puzzle wins. Twyla's done it again. She's winning everything. She's winning absolutely everything. She's winning all these immunities. It is absolutely bananas. Mike's impressing. Twyla's winning immunities, and my guys are just on the outs. Rafe's having meltdowns. Oh no. Twyla's winning immunities. Mike's impressing everyone and forming bonds, and Rafe's having bloody meltdowns. What's going on? This is all crumbling before me. Okay, we're getting to tribal. I have a feeling Rafe's going. Ah, no. First vote, Sydney, Rafe, Sydney, Rafe, Rafe. My number 1 pick's been voted out. Sydney was the other person in line. I have a feeling it's probably Rafe and Ian voted together, yep. And Snuff's core 3 is staying strong with Sydney, Mike, and Twyla. Come on, Ian. You're my last hope. You're my final hope. Final 4. 3 members of Snuffed, 1 member of Analytical Strategy. It's not looking pretty. Not looking pretty for my tribe. But to be fair, as I mentioned, from a strategic standpoint and from a big game era standpoint, I think Mike and Twyla are the 2 big dogs here. So It's going to go to fire. So that gives me hope. That gives me hope that Dean's not going to be a clear vote off. I mean, Twyla's the favourite to win immunity. If Twyla loses immunity, they might put her in the fire challenge because she's a huge threat. Mike's a huge threat. If I had to pick, I think one of those two deserve to win. I think Ian, yeah, he's going to struggle. I mean, he's got a lot of votes on the jury, to be fair. He does have votes on the jury. So we'll see how we go. Okay, there's no secret advantages. So there's no more idols. Any advantages can be played at the final four. And it looks like Mike and Twyla are still strong, but we'll see. So Sydney's won the final immunity. That's huge for Snuffed. Okay, so will Sydney... This will be interesting, actually. Just quickly, some motion. One hand tied behind their back, drop a ball into a metal chute, and then they've got to grab the balls from one side to the other and then keep dropping balls in, and the last person standing wins. Okay, so Sydney's won immunity. It'll be very interesting to see who she puts up in this fire-making challenge. Even though, like, not to be biased or anything, I would honestly put up Twyla and Mike in that challenge. I think they have to. I think they have to, unless she wants to do a crazy thing, take the necklace off and go up against them as a huge mover. I think that's probably the only way Sydney can win this season. Just given all the moves that Mike's made and all the challenges that Twyla's won, I think one of them is probably going to win. So we'll see what she does here. Okay. So Sydney has granted safety to Mike. Okay, so Mike's in the final three. She's repaid the favour. Mike played his idol for Sydney, and Sydney's repaid the favour by granting safety to Mike. So Ian and Twyla are competing in the challenge. Twyla's won. My final member, Ian, has been taken out right before the finals again. Ian. So he jumped off the first time. He lost to Twyla the second time. But now, as a viewer that's not invested in who wins because all my tribe is dissipated, they're all out of the game, it's down to Mike, Twyla, and Sydney. So, firstly, congratulations, Snuffed. Well done. You picked the better team. I'll give you props. Congratulations. So, on a serious note, big up to Snuffed. Firstly, go check out his channel if you haven't already. Absolutely phenomenal content creator. Highly recommend checking out his channel. It's got some really good stuff. He's obviously really good at picking underrated players, and 3 of his original 10 picks have made it to the finale. His very first pick in Sydney Gillen has made it. Stole Sydney from me when I wanted her. Mike stole him when I wanted Mike, and Twyla wasn't someone I was super keen on, but I think she is a definitely respectful pick, and again, she's made it to the finale for the second time running. So Sydney actually, and Mike's made it for the second time, and Sydney fell just short, losing the fire-making challenge last time, so lucky enough she didn't have to go in it this time, and she's made it to the end. So the jury of Candice, Chase, Chrissy, Davey, Ian, Jamal, Sugar, Josh, Rafe, and Tasha are going to vote for a winner. I personally think it's probably going to be Mike. As I sort of mentioned throughout this season, I think I had a funny feeling he was going to win. He kept escaping a lot of votes. He made big moves. He used idols on other people. He was on the minority a lot, and he was able to switch that around to get the win. No discredit from Twyla in winning a hell of a lot of individual challenges. Also coming in clutch at the fire-making challenge. But from what I've seen in this simulation, my vote will go to Mike. I think Twyla should come in second and Sydney should come in third. But that's just what we've seen in the simulation. So obviously we don't know the ins and outs of what's going on at camp. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the vote. So let's have a look. Twyla 1 vote. Mike 1 vote. Sydney 1 vote. 1-1-1. Twyla 2. Mike 2. Mike 3. Twyla 3. 3-3-1. Sydney 2, 3-3-2. Mike 4, 4-3-2. Mike 5, and yes, Mike White is your winner of the most underrated player season. Absolutely the most deserving player this season in my eyes. I think from all the information I was obtained, he definitely played the best game. He definitely played the biggest game, definitely able to make the most moves, and he was able to make moves with advantages. He was able to get off the bottom. He was able to get on the right side of the numbers. He was able to form majorities. He was able to have sub-alliances within those majorities, have that final 3 deal with 3 members of the original Snuff Tribe, have that tight alliance with Twyla, also have that tight alliance with Sydney so he could use the idol on her to save her during that final 6 when analytical strategy and Snuff were going battling it out 3 versus 3. He is the deserving winner of this season. Congratulations to Mike White, the winner of the most underrated player. and a huge omission from the top 100 that we initially saw. So let's see who voted for each other. So Sydney got votes from Jamal and Tasha, whilst Twyla got votes from Davey, Ian, and Josh. And Mike got the winning 5 votes from Candace, Chase, Chrissy, Sugar, and Rafe. Chrissy has won the Fan Favourite Award. That's actually quite surprising because, as I mentioned, there were a lot of big moves. Chrissy was able to also escape quite a few votes, but yeah, again, from the information I obtained, it looked like that Mike and Twyla were the clear 2 standouts this season. Let's have a look. I want to have a look at who they determined to be most strategic. So Twyla, Judd, and Davey. So Mike wasn't even listed in the most strategic, which is pretty surprising. Tash received 17 votes, and Twyla won 10 challenges. Wow. 5 immunities, 5 rewards, and the most strategic. Based on these statistics, it's extremely rough that Twyla didn't win. Maybe her abrasive personality got her in that finale, and Mike has a bit of a softer touch to him, but overall, again, I think it's super deserving that Mike has won this season. I think this was an amazing season. I think an underrated season would be a phenomenal season within Survivor. And I think Snuffed, you definitely drafted well, and you are deserving to take the crown of the better of the two of us in this particular format. So big up to you, man. Congratulations on getting the win. Congratulations on drafting such a good tribe to make that happen and to get all 3 members in the final 3. That's such a great effort. So big up to you, mate. This was super fun. Again, I think my next Survivor brand steal I'm going to try and squeeze in maybe the season 41 cast. It might be a little bit tough to brand steal as I don't know anything about them, so I can't talk about particular dynamics or anything like that, so I'm still in 2 minds about it. If it is a Survivor season that you would like to see me do a brand steal of prior to the season being aired, please let me know down in the comments. If a few of you are keen on it, I'll definitely make that happen. So if you're enjoying these types of simulations as well, please let me know. If there are any casts that you would like to see, let me know down in the comments and I'll try and make that happen. If you're new, if you're old, remember to subscribe to the channel. It's quick, it's easy, it's free, and it really means a lot and it really helps this channel grow. And I really appreciate everyone who has subscribed so far and are watching these videos. I really appreciate the support. But for now, this is Analytical Strategy with a loss signing out. I will see you on my next video. Will likely be Survivor Australia recap coming in a few days. All right, appreciate you listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.